It's Sunday, the 19th of November. Here is the news. The Israeli army today cancelled a planned air raid on the home of a Gaza militant after several hundred Palestinians barricaded themselves inside the building. A spokesman vowed Israel would continue its strikes against militants and accused gunmen of using the civilians in the camp as human shields.
That's the sort of news we hear about Israel most days a week. News of fighting between Jews and Palestinians. But in this Israeli school, Palestinian and Jewish teachers work together, teaching in both Hebrew and Arabic. Of course, there are conflicts here, but they're sorted out by talking, not fighting. It's the oldest of only 4 schools like it in the whole country. In Hebrew, it's called Neve Shalom, in Arabic, Wahat al-Salam, and in English, Oasis of Peace.
الكل كتب محيط أطلنطي. طيب افتحوا لي على خارطة العالم يلا بدنا نعمل الفعالية.
Reem Nashef is the home teacher for grade 5. She's an Arab and she teaches in Arabic. Hezzi Schouster is Reem's grade 5 co-teacher. He's Jewish and teaches in Hebrew. He and Reem translate each other, so the children hear the lesson in both languages. It's just one of the unique features of the school. We followed Reem and Hezzi and their grade 5 students for what became a very busy week. There were school council elections, and the children were preparing for an end-of-week concert, A Star is Born.
كل اثنين باخذوا برتقانتين. برتقانة للتقشير وبرتقانة للفلق.
The oranges are an imaginative teaching resource for a geography class about the way the world is divided.
ותקראו מה שכתוב. תסתכלו על התפוז. בכל תפוז, כמובן הוא עגול, נכון? ויש לו חלק.
My parents came from Europe, but I was born in a very poor neighborhood in Jerusalem, where all the people were from the east, and all the food that we were eating and all the music, it was all Arabic. The Arab and the Eastern culture is talking to me much more than the European culture.
إذا باخد هاي وبقصها هلا هيك. شو هذا بيكون؟
I was born in Tul Karim to a father that taught English. And he was separated from his parents in 1948 when he was very young. And we came back. We were the first Palestinians to get the permission to come back to the homeland. I started school in Saudi Arabia. I was in one of the American Arab oil company schools. And I liked the way they taught. It was in a fun and free way they taught us. And when I came back to schools here, they were so traditional and so strict, and it was hard for me. So I decided if I do become a teacher, I'll make life easier for children.
أسكان بدك تقص الثانية هيك هلا بترجع لك السكينة نخون؟
قصة بالمسطرة هاشم تغير الشتاء سرقين
ואחד שמים את הדגש על מזרח מערב. צפון, דרום, מזרח, מערב.
סכינה, סכינה, סכינה.
עכשיו, מי יגיד לי איזה צד יותר טעים בתפוז? הצד הצפוני או הצד הדרומי?
Just as the learning resources are being put to good use, the class is interrupted. It's a bit like that in this school. Grade 6 student Reem Arafat is Palestinian, but she's going to speak to the children in both Arabic and Hebrew.
اسمعوها كمان مرة لو سمحتوا تفضلي
لازم تروحوا على اللوبي عشان تنقوا تصوتوا للولد أو للبنت بمجلس الطلاب ومجلس الرياضة ومجلس الجريدة.
It looks quite ordinary, but it's anything but. There are only 4 schools in the whole of Israel where Arabic and Hebrew are given equal status.
اللوبي كي أتم أخشب بخريم بفاتات كيتا
واحد أو وحدة بنت أو ولد بدكم تورجوا قديش إحنا صف بنتصرف
מי שמנקה את השולחן שלו יכול ללכת.
وين السكاكين؟ ممنوع تسيبيهم.
But before the voting, there are the hustings.
كل صف خامس لأنه ساكتين صف أول كتير شاطرين زقفة كبيرة لصف أول زقفة كبيرة لقلنا الخامس وثالث أوكي نحن רוצים להתחיל מועצת תלמידים مי שמעוניין שיעלה
هوني مثلا من صف خامس رح أطلعكم من الدروس رح نعمل كتير أشياء حلوة فعاليات
أول إشي مرحبا لكل طلاب مدرستي وحدة السلام. التوجه إلي بأي مساعدة أو مشكلة أو رأي أو اقتراح. שלום לכל תלמידי בית ספרי נווה שלום. קוראים לי דועה אזברגה, תלמידה בכיתה ח' מילוט.
The whole school together, a perfect opportunity for children to speak in both languages.
אם אתם חושבים שמגיע לי להיות ראש מועצת התלמידים, תבחרו בי. תודה.
In 1948, the valley below the school was the scene of some of the bitterest fighting of the war between Jews and Palestinians. Jewish people were fighting to secure an independent Jewish state. It was the time when many Palestinians fled or were driven from their homes. Homes to which they have almost always been prevented from returning. The teachers at this school are some of the sons and daughters of that generation.
I see from 5th grade I have 2 that want to be in the Students' Council, and then you have 3rd grade, then 2nd grade also want to be. In the newspaper, it's written both in Arabic and Hebrew. I have Nir and Hamza want to be in the newspaper council.
أزيد شو اسمه غير أحاول أكثر دروس أكثرهم.
He said that I would like to, for the Students' Council, I'd like to change the music of the bell. He'll do that for the children, for the school. He also said that I would want to make more Arabic lessons because lots of Arabs, I'm proud of him now, lots of Arabs speak more in Hebrew, so I'm going to try to solve the Arabic problem in the class. And I want to encourage the children to study more.
With grade 5s voting over, it's back to the classroom, or rather to 2 classrooms because the grade splits. The Jewish children are learning Arabic with Fetan Abdul Halim, one of the school's specialist teachers.
Okay, شو كمان؟ أنا يخلى لقيت كاخا. اليوم تكشفوا طوف. اليوم في مدرسة واحد السلام كان في عنا فعالية فنية. مين عنده استعداد يعيد الجملة اللي حكيتها بالعربي؟
في اليوم في مدرسة واحد السلام كانت فعالية فنية.
Next door, Nadira Hamad is teaching the Arab children a song for Thursday's concert. Later, they'll teach the song to their Jewish classmates. In the concert itself, each grade has to perform in Arabic.
It's a famous Arabic song. Because we have Arab people and Jewish people, I told myself that I must make made words or write words which belongs to each people, to the two kinds of people. So I wrote the words, and this is the first time for me to tell them the song. Home time, and tomorrow grade 5 will be working on a project about the idea of home. Most Arab and Jewish children in Israel live in separate villages or towns, so it can be a sensitive subject.
Until now, we were talking in the class about houses, and now we want them to start describing their own houses.
So we built a program for the children to talk about houses emotionally, about houses in history or all over the world, and houses and their dream house or religious houses or whatever ideas they would come up will take on and from then on continue. And now today we're going to make them tell us about their dream house.
This lesson about homes has a significance we're not used to in the UK. During the Holocaust, millions of Jews lost their homes and their lives, and Palestinians lost their homes to Israelis in the 48 war.
شو شكل لأنه هذيك المرة حكينا إحنا إنه إيش يعني بيعني البيت إلي مزبوط وقلنا البيت هو محبة البيت هو دافي البيت يعني زتتوا لي كتير كلمات صح؟
יש לכם, ראיתם בתים מיוחדים שאתם רוצים לספר לנו?
בית חשב.
בית חשב.
אמרו, בית חשב זה בית אבן.
لا خشب.
עץ.
ساحرة في إحنا عندنا عامي وتامي بالعربي. شو اسمه بالعربي؟ جميلة وجميل.
هنزل وجريتل.
بالعربي هنزل وجريتل بالإنجليزي. قبل حتى قديش ضايل الخازي قديش ضايل الوقت انا اقول لهم شو بيتي
מה את אומרת? יש לך?
مش عارفه بدي بيت يكون كبير
בית גדול
بدي بيت ما يتوسخش ولا مره
שלא מתלכלך אף פעם
ولا بتكركب ولا مره
ולא מה? וואלה כמן?
يتكركب يتبلجن
ואין בו בלגן אף פעם.
يعني إذا حدا بكب إشي على الأرض دغري ينضف.
אם מישהו מפיל משהו על הארץ, זה מתנקה מיד. כן? ומורידים את החולצה וזורקים על הספה, אז צ'יק צ'ק זה עף מהספה למגירה.
As well as being colleagues at work, Hezzi and Reem are good friends and neighbours in the village.
We lived in Jerusalem. My husband had bought a house in Bethany, on the way to the Dead Sea. There was a declaration of the Palestinian Authority, and we were happy. We thought things would calm down, but things didn't calm down, and we had applied for it. It took us 5 years to be accepted to this village, and when they gave us the permission, yes, you have been accepted, we thought it was a good chance for the children to live quietly. When we would pass from Bethany to Jerusalem to take the children to school, it took us an hour and a half, and it's a 10-minute drive. We had to pass a lot of checkpoints and wait in line for an hour, so it was naturally that we'll accept it as soon as possible. So it's just for the kids, let's say, to make life easier for us and for the kids.
למשל, אני רוצה בישראל, אני רוצה באמריקה, או באיזה מקום בעולם, על עצים, או בתוך הים, או על חוף הים, או במדבר, או או בשמיים, או על העננים.
I came first to the village, I think, in 1994. Yeah, it was a very small village. I think 15 families only. Even though in my nature I'm more a man of the city, because I like the noise of the city and the action and the cinema, the theater, the coffee houses. But we thought that for the children it's better to be here. So now that they are growing, maybe in a few years we will go back to Tel Aviv.
But for now, Hezzi and his wife Ruth live in this house overlooking the valley.
I was very involved in the issues of the village until 2 years ago. But it gets up to here. You know, it's a small village with a lot of problems, a lot of people always... a lot of politics, inside politics. It's not connected to the Jewish-Arab conflict in Israel, not at all.
No, not at all.
Okay.
I don't agree with you.
Okay.
We have a problem of a small village, and you can add on it the problem of being two societies that try to live together. Even our two nations are fighting and bleeding. You know, it's a conflict. It's a bleeding conflict. It's not so easy. So we have some issues. For example, I can talk about one issue: the language. I think that the Arabs in the village, the Palestinian Arabs, are very mad about us, the Jewish, because we don't talk Arabic. We don't know Arabic. You know, I live here many years and I still don't speak Arabic fluently. Because the language is, you know, it's a very important. It's not just the language. It's a part of the culture. It's part of the identity. So if we, the Jewish, we don't learn Arabic, so something is wrong.
בס בלווארה אל אולה, רק בדף הראשון. אל תעברו דף.
The school might promote the Arabic language to the Jewish children, but what about the Jewish teachers? Tomorrow they'll be confronting their own language barriers. This track behind the village is the old road to Jerusalem. It was used by Jewish forces in the 1940s as they fought their way slowly towards the city. It lies next to a woodland, the scene of a much older history. There's a Byzantine monastery under this forest, and each day children from different grades come to dig. It's part of the history curriculum.
This is what they found. Look at how beautiful. See how excited they are? Now they know that people have gone, that have passed this place.
Reem's taking this class on her own. Hezzi's not here, he's in another class, this time as a student. Faiz Mansour, the head teacher, runs a lunchtime Arabic language class for the Jewish teachers. Today they're writing and learning a song in Arabic that they'll sing at the end of the week's concert. The arrangement's traditional, lyrics by assistant head Etty Edlund.
أهلا يا أولاد نغني مع بعض نغني مع بعض ومغيم مع المعلمين تصيروا حلوات زي البطيخ בסדר? حلوين
تصيروا حلوين زي الياسمين
לא, בטיח זה יצחיק אותם, אנחנו צריכים להצחיק אותם קצת. أهلا يا أولاد بطيح خلوا عمركم برا بعيد راح تسوروا نجم جديد يفه لا
We have a problem in our school. The model that the children receive from the adults is that the language of communication is Hebrew. And we want to give a message that Arabic is very important. And that's why we want to learn. Even the teacher have to learn. We think in this situation, very bad situation in Israel, it is good to have such schools where Jewish and Palestinian children can learn together and be together.
Only one more day of school before the weekend, but it's going to be a big day for the children and the teachers. How will their song go down?
The news on Thursday, the 23rd of November. Fighting between militants and Israeli troops in Gaza has claimed the lives of a 10-year-old Palestinian boy and a militant filming the clashes. A third Palestinian died of wounds sustained in earlier violence. It wasn't immediately known whether he was a militant or a civilian.
The school week finishes today. Later there'll be the results of the student council elections and the concert. But before that, Reem and Hezzi bring grade 5 together.
אנחנו רוצים לסכם את השבוע, ומי שיש לו משהו להגיד על מה שהיה לו, או מה שהיה בכלל, ואיך הוא מרגיש, אז בבקשה, ומי שמתחיל זה בעברית. יעני, היום את החצי העברית.
בערבית. אבל היא תמיד. היה לי שבוע יפה. ובנותי שרים לא הוציאה אותם בהפסקה. ומה?
ريم لو הוציאה אותה להפסקה.
כן, אסבוע.
البنات اللي يجروا ورا الأولاد والأولاد يجروا ورا البنات ولعبنا
مين بحب يترجمه بالعبراني؟
ואני בהפסקה היה כיף כשרדף שהבנות רצו על אחרי הבנים והבנים אחרי הבנות. זה ברור. חיי שרה.
شكراً أوفير. تفضلي هلا أنت قولي. مين ما حكاش؟
انتي.
تفضل חזי.
לי היה שבוע מאוד קשה. לרים גם היה שבוע קשה, כי היא כל הזמן הייתה צריכה לרוץ מהכיתה לכיתה, ובקושי היו לה הפסקות, ובקושי הספיקה לאכול משהו. אז אם יש לכם בעיות, אל תבואו אלינו בהפסקות.
شكراً لكم.
אוקיי,
هلا
עכשיו...
بهدوء. اقعدوا عشان أوزعه. لا أنا بوزعه. اقعدوا أنا بوزعه. باي. باي. Thank God. There, the week is over.
That's the end of formal classes. Now for the fun. First, the election results. The returning officer is Reem Arafat.
مجلس الرياضة ريم محمد جبر ومؤيد.
Next, it's the concert.
الهدف منها مولد نجم نشجع الطلاب على اللغة العربية إنه يحكوا في اللغة العربية.
There's anticipation in the air. How will the teachers perform? Will all the work they put in on Tuesday pay off?
ايتي ايش هذا؟ ايش اللي بتعملوه؟ مش هذا يا رائدة. استنوا شوي. مش هذا هدفنا اليوم، احنا عندنا اغنية جديدة بدنا نغنيها. بدنا نغني تنشيخي. احنا بدنا نفرجيكم الغنيوة الحقيقية اللي حضروها المعلمات والمعلمين. يلا.
And with that, it's the end of school for the week. This evening, Hezzi is coming over to Reem's house for a meal. They're good friends as well as colleagues. They see eye to eye on most things. But did they ever have any disagreements?
Political issues we never did have. Maybe agreement on what to do with children.
Yeah, sometimes about how to deal with children that are
You know, one would say do this and the other wouldn't know that I said this. And I'd say no and he had already said yes. That's the main... So I'd say, Hezzi, what did you do? And he'd say, okay, I didn't know that you didn't want this to happen. And I say, I know them more than you do. I know these kids. I've been their teacher for a whole year. And he says, why don't you loosen up? Leave them, right? Yeah. He'd say, okay, leave them, loosen up a little bit.
We are not taking things seriously. We prefer to laugh about it.
Even the children feel it, and they also, between them, among them, they start feeling easy about each other. But if we do fight in class, or we show them that I'm against him or he's against me, then they're ready to, they'll catch on and we'll see fighting in class. And that happens if you're not in agreement with the other teacher. I'm concerned about the Arabs, that they should communicate in their language. That's my main concern, and because it's a bilingual, binational school, So I'd like the Arab language to be as much equal as the Hebrew language in the school. It's very important for me.
And sometimes I'm teasing them because how come that the Arabs knows Hebrew so good and you must talk Arabic?
So what makes this school different?
Let's say in our school, it's the only place that you can bring up the issue, the conflict, everything, and speak up freely. I don't think in Arab schools that anybody would dare to talk about the Palestinian issue as freely as in our school.
It's not obvious, this kind of school.
They're not aware of in other schools, in Jewish schools, they're not aware that there's another side living and there's a conflict with them on the land. In this school, parents that send their children to this school, they want their children to know about the other side. The other side is the Palestinian people, that there were people and there was a land and on this land there were people. And the main subject is that we want to live with them in peace.